Yo, people, what's going on? It's your boy Verbz for the Triggered Thoughts podcast. Hope you guys are well, man. Um, you know what? I've been sitting there, just thinking about things, and first off, I just want to say a very big thank you to everybody that's followed the Triggered Thoughts podcast because we've had people that have been around us from the start that we've approached for advice, support, and stuff, and they said that they were going to support us. The ones that we asked for advice from didn't come through, weren't interested. But I suppose that's how industries treat new people in the game, and we were new, me and Geniusman, and I suppose we're still new. You know what I mean? Certain family members that were supposed to support us, some listened to our material, our content, gave us feedback, and other family members didn't bother. But hey, everyone has their own reasons. We're not holding on to people's choices. That's what they want to do is what they want to do. One thing we learn living in the world as human beings is you can't control people's decisions or people's actions, so it is what it is. Do you know what I mean? We've even had people follow us and say they wanted to be a part of this, dragged it out, avoided it, and then the next thing we know, we see them taking pop shots at us, from their side of the fence, indirect messages, not trying to rattle our cage, but boy, all I know is man's seen all of that from a long time. Man's seen where people don't support. Man's seen where we have to put in the graft ourselves, and you can't depend on people. So all of that stuff, it's not rattling no cage around there. You get me? Sometimes people underestimate you and feel that you're not of a certain stature. You know what I mean? But we are just trying to turn lives around, and as well as our own, and do good things. So it's what it is. But you know what? The reason I wanted to make this video is for two reasons. Is because number one, we're embarking on our first year in the podcast game. Do you know what I mean? And yeah, it's been a interesting journey. And despite the people that we thought would ride for us the most and support us the most, it's been you guys, the people that never knew us, the people that found out about us through Genius Dan's social media accounts, and you've supported people that never heard of me, because this is my first year in the game too, first year on social media as well, and I'm just grateful to all those people that were strangers that supported us, and became somewhat friends, and we speak on a personal basis through DMs, through voice notes, whatever. Do you know what I mean? Just encourage you to keep supporting, because we've got loads of ideas for the future. We want to bring some of our people that follow us on, if they're interested in being on, not for no exploitational purposes, but just to have some people that have some good content, give them the opportunity to be heard. Makes good content. We don't really focus on trying to get people that are famous on our podcast, because that's not what we're about. We're about quality, not quantity. We don't just want a famous name on there and it gives you all the views and you're running around that rat race. No, we're doing it different. We want people from the community, the locals, people that follow us, people with something to say, people with life experiences. You don't have to be a celebrity. That's how we're running it. Do you know what I mean? But the next reason is last year my sister died, so this year is we're approaching the first anniversary of her death, and she was a massive Triggered Thoughts podcast fan from the start. She was probably one of the only people in the family that is really, really focused watched, criticized everything, our thing, and she unfortunately passed away, at 33 years of age, due to no fault of her own. She had an operation. She wasn't given the aftercare. She became unwell, ended up with sepsis and passed away on life support, which I had to watch. And that was the main reason why I wanted to make this video, because it made me feel hurt, man. I know people that have died before, friends, through gun crime and knife crime and all that stuff. Do you know what I mean? But when your younger sister passes away unexpectedly, suddenly, and she's a healthy, strong person, because strength is in my family bloodline. I've got a lot of strong characters in my family, man. Do you know what I mean? And when she passed, it was just crazy, absolutely crazy. So, she left behind a son who just turned 7 years old. He now lives with me and my partner, so we take care of him, and I'm just trying to do certain things for the better to provide for my daughter, him, my family, make opportunities, show them about hard work, teach them about righteousness, which is why our podcast has to be run a certain way. He doesn't watch them yet because he's too young, but at some point when he's older, he probably might do, and I want him to hear wise words. I want him to hear words that will encourage him to do great. Same thing as my daughter. You know what I mean? But let me get back to what I was saying. Losing my sister was the hardest thing I've ever seen and had to go through in my life. Ever. Can't underestimate that. Talking to my sister one day, hearing her on the phone falling ill, and then traveling to the hospital where she was at, seeing her on life support, looking the way she looked on life support all of a sudden, and then watching her deteriorate in front of man within hours after I got there, and then just hearing the confirmation beep that she passed away. It was hard, very difficult. I wouldn't wish that on anybody. And there was a stage, because we just started the podcast when she passed, there was a stage where I considered just letting it go and not doing it. And me and Geniusman spoke about it. And he was very understanding, because he knew my sister too, because he's my cousin, and he had a relationship with my sister. So it hurt him as well. And he understood where I was coming from and thought I would give in. But because of my sister's love for the podcast, it made me say, you know what, I'm going to do it in her name. I'm going to continue it, which is why I got her initials on the side of my mask here and the date that she passed away. You know what I mean? And the teardrops under my eyes represent my sister passing away, my mother-in-law that passed away just before her, and my auntie that passed away just after them. That's the meaning of the visuals on this mask. But yeah, my sister's passing away, it motivated me to just continue with the podcast, not to give up. Do what you loved, knowing that she loved and she supported it. Because I'm sure my sister will be listening to it in heaven or watching me record from up there, because I know she's by God's side now. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to say, people, if you've ever had a bereavement or recently experienced a bereavement, I just want to reassure you that there's no right way to heal from losing a loved one. There's no template of how you should do it. You have to do it how it works for you. And one thing I would say, for me, I focus on a lot of positives with my sister, positive memories. You know, I've got voice notes of her that I listen to. I just remember all those good times. Obviously, I remember when she passed away. But at the same time, I cherish those moments with her, even though she's not here. I cherish them like she is here. Do you know what I mean? And that's helped me get through. You know, and it's the same support that I've given to her son, who's my nephew. But now I call him son because his dad's not around. So I'm who he depends on. Do you know what I mean? So I just wanted to let you guys know that. But bereavement's not an easy thing. If you need to do therapy, do therapy. Bereavement therapy. If you don't want to do that, have trusted people around you that you can talk to, that love and care for you and have your best interests at heart. And they will speak to you and watch you go through your vulnerable moments when you'll be crying, when you're in hysterics. You know, but everything that you do, don't question it. It's all part of the healing journey. So, it's not easy. If you've lost anybody, rest in eternal peace to whoever that may be. Rest in eternal peace to my sister. Just pour your emotions out. Remember the good and positive memories. Allow your emotions to come pouring out. Don't block them. That's all part of the healing. And yeah, you'll get through, man. It will just take time. Be patient. You know, I'm still breathing, but doing this podcast gives me some sort of peace. You know what I mean? It allows me to be able to empty out. It allows me to do it in the name of my sister. So it's part of my healing journey doing this podcast. So respect to all the people that supported and allowed us to continue doing this podcast just through your support. It's given us the motivation. So I just want to say thank you and big up to everybody and look forward to seeing you soon, you know, when you're watching our future podcast episodes. Verbz, Sugared Thoughts Podcast.